begin, if you wouldn't mind doing me the honor of smashing the living crap out of that subscribe button and the notification bell so that more of me show up in your feed, I would really appreciate it. And I would doubly, nay, triply appreciate a look over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where the upper class goes to really taste the finer things in life that I have to offer, such as exclusive movie reviews every month, vlogs depending on your level of support, and you can even get a shout out like several do at the end of all my future videos. Those are the kings, the real creme de la creme. Here we are. Welcome to Adam Does Movies Live. It's Tuesday again. We've been making this a thing. Hope everybody's having a good time. Put a lot of stuff out on the channel so far this week. I'm kind of back to where I wanted to be, where I was last month, maybe a month and a half ago. Channel needs content. It is king, YouTube tells me. So today I put out a video on the the re-release of Snow White into theaters over Mother's Day. I don't know what Disney was thinking on that, but it didn't make much money. Talked about that. Yesterday, I put out a review, I believe that was yesterday, for Fight or Flight. Josh Hartnett vehicle is basically bullet train in a plane, bullet plane. Didn't really care for that one. Also put out a review for, oh God, Clown in a Cornfield. Wasn't really thrilled with that one either. You know what I didn't point out in the review? First off, why isn't it Scarecrow in a Cornfield? Whatever. Clown in a Cornfield, what are you going to do with that premise? Is the clown going to come out of a clown car at some point? Is he going to have a mallet? Is he going to pull like someone's... It would be fun if there was a scene where the clown pulled the intestines out of a person's body like it was, you know, the never-ending... what do they call it? Ribbons trick or whatever, where it just keeps coming out of the sleeve. That would have been funny. They don't do anything creative in the movie, so I should have noted that more. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good night. This is the Tuesday night live stream where I just kind of hang out for an hour or so and hope to get some super chats to keep the channel going, because it is the second best way to help keep this dream alive. The first best way, or just the best way, I could say, most people say just the best way, is become a patron at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, or right here on YouTube. There's a YouTube membership button that's going to be getting overhauled after I move back to Minnesota in just less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. You know, I forgot, but I saw my buddy Matt, who I met here in South Carolina due to the channel, and we had a great day together. Saw these movies that I mentioned a second ago, and he gave me a gift. I wish I had the gift in proximity, but it's actually in the back of my car still. He bought me a framed Avatar 2 poster because he knows I hate that film, and we bonded over it together because it was the first movie review he saw from me when he YouTube searched Avatar 2 sucks. So he gave me a framed poster of it, and then he had a little engraving at the bottom that says, "This movie sucks," in quotes, with 100,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. So look for that to be up, though, in the new studio, or maybe I'll show it in the next week's last live here in South Carolina before the move. All right, let's get to some comments and get the party going. First off, Thomas says Avatar 2 does suck. I agree. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that when people agree with me. Hello from Norway. Hello. I would say your name, but I'm not actually sure how. Is it Bjornar? Brumblebass? I probably butchered the shit out of it. It's not out of disrespect. It's just I barely know how to speak English. Terrifier set the bar high for clowns. I agree. Ty says I tried revisiting Avatar 2 and couldn't even make it halfway through it. Yeah, that's not worth revisiting. Speaking of posters, I got 3 framed posters of these movies. 1, Flight Risk, y'all need a pilot. 2, Death of a Unicorn. 3, Smile 2. One of those movies is not like the other, in my opinion. Oh, Bjornar says, that's perfect, Adam. Okay, amazing. You excited for summer movies? I'm here says. What are you looking forward to seeing and what should we see? I'm going to point out the icon looks to be, what is that, Pluto? Nice. Like me some Pluto. Summer movies, I'm looking forward to Mission Impossible 85. Pretty pumped for that one. I'm looking forward to Superman to see how that shakes out. There was a trailer for season 2 of Peacemaker. I'm pumped for that. I really enjoyed season 1. Other movies coming out. You know what? I'm like curious about Megan 2. I don't know if that's a summer release though. I would imagine that's maybe next year, but it could be. For all I know, it's hard to say anymore. Things just come out unceremoniously. Christian says, "Hey Adam, with the way Thunderbolts is actually a return to form, do you think they're on a good track now? Like with Fantastic Four coming out soon?" Yeah, I said that in my review. I said I'm kind of optimistic for the state of the MCU. It's amazing how one movie can kind of course correct, at least in my mind. I thought Thunderbolts was handled with a little bit of care. It seemed like they had good intentions with it. It's got a decent plot. It leads into some interesting ideas. And I dig the Fantastic Four trailer. I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic for the future of the MCU. We'll see what they can come up with. Microsoft needs to hire Mark Wahlberg for its AI ad campaign. Y'all need a co-pilot. Did you watch the newest episode of The Last of Us? I almost am falling off, but they pulled me back in with a pretty good episode. Yeah, I'm done. I really don't care. I gave the second season a chance, but it appears to be doing the same thing the story of the second game did, which I did not care for, but even worse than the second game did it. So I don't really feel like watching it. I have too much other shit I have to get through still for this 31 on 31 mobster movie thing that's coming out soon. I'm on movie number 24, I believe, out of 31. And time is truly of the essence now. I only have about a week to get through the rest of them and get all of it filmed and edited because the place is going to be boxed up here and I'm not going to have a studio for a good week. I say Peacemaker TV movie. I say Peacemaker TV movies. I don't know yet. I hope Superman is good, as we've had 3 movie actors so far. It's I think we're on the 4th, unless you mean you're not counting Cornhusker, the new one we have. We had Christopher Reeves. We had Brandon Roth or Roth, however you say it. We had Henry Cavill. That's the 3, and now we have Cornbread, the new one. And I haven't minded any of them. I think they've all been good in their own ways. Well, and then we also have the TV Superman, which is another, whole laundry list of actors. I think I feel a sneeze coming on, and if it does, I'm gonna just one. I really pushed it out. Ever gonna take a page out of Sean Chandler's book and rank all 8,000 MCU projects again? No, that's Sean's bread and butter. He's made it. He's really made that house a home. And I find ranking videos. I've said this a million times. I just don't like doing them. I find them to be so kind of stupid. They're popular. People like watching them, and I'm not gonna lie. I have a fascination about them too. If I see a ranking video come up, I don't watch it. But there's a part of me that thinks, "Oh, I wonder where they ranked this," and then I instantly lose interest because at the end of the day, it's just kind of like a list, right? It's a list with mainly parts that are going to move in the center, and then your bottom two and your top two are pretty much all that matters. So if you have a list of 30 or 40 movies, what are we doing? 36 of them are kind of inconsequential. That's how this 31 on 31 mob thing is going. I have to rank 31 mob movies, and right now my bottom one or two pretty much locked in, and my top ones are, you know what, this is actually a very challenging list. So my top three, actually my top five, are kind of moving back and forth to the point where, again, it doesn't matter because I love most of the movies on this list of 31. I would say 80% of them I think are just fantastic, and 10% of them are that was pretty good, and then another 10% of them are just I don't care for them. You know what, maybe a percentage is, there is one or two on here that I hate, but overall this is a fantastic lineup of movies. Come May 23rd, are you going to see Lilo and Stitch or Mission Impossible Final Reckoning? Well, I'll be seeing both for sure. Oh God, May 23rd. Damn it. Wait. May 23rd is probably, oh God, this is such a shit time because my family leaves on the 23rd. But that might be yeah, I got to see when days fall because I always go Thursdays to the movies. I just have to see when things fall because I'll go with the kids to both of them. I mean, I'm seeing them either way. I'm going to both, and I'll be reviewing both. It just depends on what day it actually falls that I can go out. Oh, thanks. Lindsay gave me permission. Is what day is the 23rd? Is 23rd a Friday? Okay, so I'll be seeing it on the 22nd with the kids. Are you going to Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible? No, you're not going to go? All right. So the kids are going. Rob K for $5. Shot out of a cannon, the first super of the night. I hopefully it keeps going. Who is your favorite and least favorite member of the Thunderbolts? I think Wyatt Russell as Cap is the weakest link. I'm going to call Cap on that. I actually don't. I think Captain America, well, budget Captain America, Wyatt Russell was very fun in the movie. I liked his edginess. I liked his kind of douchebaggery, his smart ass responses. Ghost, it was really cool to watch do some of her magic tricks where she can kind of warg in and out. But her personality is just so stick in the mud lame, just like it was in Ant-Man and the Wasp 2. I guess it was just Ant-Man and the Wasp, not Quantum Shidia, the one before that. I think she's the weakest link as far as character. But yeah, Russell's kind of good for me. I liked him. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to see both movies and move on the same day. Are you out of your fucking mind, Kyle? That's an impossible task. Rob says Ghost is cool and she's cute. Well, I'm not debating either of those points. I just said her personality really hasn't been much. Here we go. Paul Bros for Never for $4.99. Thank you, Paul Bros. What's been your favorite movie of the year so far? Top of my brain candy, I would say Sinners is the first one that comes to mind. Can't say it's been an amazing year for movies so far. I'm sure you could probably go back through my reviews since I did put. Well, you know what? If I did my job, I put them. I have a playlist for 2025 movie reviews. So let's just see what's on that list. 2025 movie reviews. We have Where did we start with? Better Man, which I think technically came out in 2024 in some parts of the world. Oh, Ad Vitam, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. This was all from this year. Wolfman, Back in Action, Amelia Perez, Man to Woman, Woman to Man, Penis to Vagina. Flight Risk, Y'all Need a Pilot. Companion, that's definitely a good one. Companion's top 5 right now. I'm Still Here. Wait, was this? Hang on. I'm Still Here release date. February 7th, 2025. Gentlemen and ladies, my number 1 is I'm Still Here, which most of you probably did not see. That's the number 1 pretty easily. Sinners is number 2. Companion's number 3 so far. Love Hurts was not great. Captain America Brave New World was not great. Kind of Pregnant was terrible. The Gorge was stupid. Honora was good. So that's in the top 5 so far. The Monkey was meh. Mickey 17 was, I thought that was fine. Flow was amazing. So Flow's in the top 5. Novocaine was good. Nausea 2 was awesome. Black Bag was good. Electric State was trash. Snow White was lame as crap trash. Death of a Unicorn was good. Woman in the Yard was dumb. Working Man was dumb. Steamboat Movie was stupid. Minecraft was dumb fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. Drop was fine. Warfare was great. Amateur was fine. G20 was hot trash. Sinners was great. Until Dawn was stupid. Havoc was trash. Thunderbolts was good. Another Simple Favor was dumb. Clown in a Cornfield was dumb. And Flight or Fight was lame. So I'm Still Here is number 1. Sinners is number 2. There was another good one down here just a second ago. Warfare. I would say Warfare is probably 3. I'd say those are my top 3. Oh, Nausea 2 was really awesome also. I'm going to go with those in my top 3. Hey, I just did a ranking video, and it took me 30 seconds. Targaryen Boss. Okay, for $4.99. Thank you, Targaryen Boss. More excited for Lilo and Stitch or Mission Impossible? I'm not excited for Lilo and Stitch. I don't understand why people are excited for Lilo and Stitch, and I'm being 1,000% honest. Based on the Disney live-action track record of these movies being like worse than the animated one every single time, sometimes they're okay at best, and other times they're completely hot trash. I don't know why people are so pumped for Lilo and Stitch. I thought the original animated one was fantastic. And the trailers I'm seeing for this one look just like all the other shit that the live action things have become. So I'm easily more excited for Mission Impossible. Easily more excited. Lilo and Stitch has a lot to prove to me. Because it's, again, emulating what came before. Looks like it's doing some of the same shot-for-shot things that all these do. Probably gonna have the same music, gonna have the same exact story. I don't know. It needs to impress me a lot more than Mission Impossible does. Albus Severus Potter for $4.99. Thank you, Albus. Just saw I'm Still Here. Incredible. Saw after your video. That's great to hear. And coming from a Potter, that means the world. Critical Drinker's review of Thunderbolts was cringe. I don't watch his stuff, so I would never be able to tell you what he thought about anything. Potter's back. Thank you. $4.99. I don't know why the Lilo and Stitch looks to be on par with the I don't know why the Lilo and Stitch looks to be on par with the original, but you are right. Disney is having a bad track record recently. Yeah, again, I don't see it as being on par with the original. We'll find out. We'll find out. You know what? Let me take that back. I don't want it to be on par with the original. That's my problem. I don't want it to be like almost as good as the original, that means it's not as good as the original or better. We should be striving for better than the original. What is this like companion piece bullshit? I want something fresh and innovative that says, hey, remember the beloved classic you love? Check out what we're doing now. We're taking the story in a different direction. We're doing new things with new characters, or we're showing you a different side of this story that you didn't see before. Kind of like what they did with even Cruella, which I didn't think was very good, but I appreciated that they did something new with the character, or Maleficent, taking a different angle with it. This is, again, just the same storyboarded stuff we had 20 years ago or whenever it came out. Christian, movie nerd for $5. Thank you. I love your work on here. Would you ever do it full time? If I was able to afford to, yes, I would do it 1000% full time. And I did the numbers with 100,000 subscribers on Adam Does Movies. Wow, 101,000 and counting. If everyone became a patron at just $1, I'd be doing this full time, no problem. But we have to be realistic. So no, I have to continue doing my full-time job for the foreseeable future. It's the channel's not even remotely close to letting me retire from that. But yeah, I would love to do that. Hopefully, with my my partnership with Realm and getting on podcasts now, you can find the channel. You can find the show. Sorry, I have to say show. You can find the show Adam Does Movies on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please subscribe to those if you're watching this right now. It will help grow the channel. And that way ads will come to me and they'll say like, hey, we'll make you an offer. We'll give you so much a month if you do so many ad, shout outs on random videos. Then that would be great. That would offset some of the difference for my real job. I should say cancel out. Bjorner asks, emphasis on do you follow other YouTube movie channels? I do. I don't watch them per se, but I follow them, obviously. I have a group of folks that I've become friends with online. Some I've met in person. I've mentioned them many times on here, but no, I don't have any YouTube creators that I actually just follow and listen to all their reviews. I will check in once in a blue moon to see what they thought about a certain movie here or there. But for the most part, I actually like to just keep my opinions, and not parrot what some other channel has to say, even if it's accidentally. I just don't want to fall into that trap. And that makes things fun and interesting, because then you do get these polarizing takes from me on occasion for things like Barbarian or Godzilla -1 or Nosferatu, because I did just go to the movies, watch it with some friends, and get the experience I had, which I can then share with you without being polluted or corrupted by some of the other opinions online, mainly from folks that I do respect and enjoy hearing from. That can sometimes tarnish your own concept of what's good and what's bad. Super chat from Purpur for $4.99. Thank you. Have any live actions been better than the original for you? Yes, one of them. It was The Jungle Book. And it's mainly because I'm not huge. I know this is terrible to say, but I'm not huge on the animated Jungle Book. My stepfather would die if he heard that, because it's his favorite Disney movie. I've just never been like huge on it. And so the live action remake, it's not even a remake. It's really its own thing. It doesn't have it has one like nod to the song in the animated one, but it really is kind of a different story. It's more akin to like a Lion King, I thought, than it was to the Jungle Book, with just the way it plays out. I liked the dark look of it. This is directed by Jon Favreau, and he really kind of set the tone and the stage for what would become these horrible live action Disney remakes down the road. But I thought he really got it right with this one. Take the concept, take the content, and rework it in a different angle, give it its own feel. And I thought Jungle Book really did have its own tone. Adam, have you ever seen Sleepaway Camp? I have not. I have not. There's a lot of movies I have not seen. Oh, the important question from Rob. Where is that silver YouTube play button plaque? I want Tony from Hack the Movies to see it and drool. Oh, I guess it is hard to see, but if you check out this shoulder and just there it is, right there. Dropped a Lego piece on the ground. Y'all need a plaque. There it is, the YouTube play button. We just set it right there. It's just right there, doing its thing, minding its own business. Megan Barkpoo for $4.99. That name made me laugh. I'm sorry. Any overrated or underrated films for you? Overrated? Yeah, well, yeah, but it's always the same boring one I go to every time. It's Speed Racer is super underrated for me. I think that movie kicks ass. I'm a big fan of Speed Racer. It was the last good Wachowski movie. Yeah, I did not like Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas. I don't know how to say that. Cloud Assless. I didn't like that one. I certainly didn't like Jupiter Ascending. You can really do this with all those movies. You can do this with all their movies. The Matrix, Resurrection. But Speed Racer, oh man, that one went hard. That one went fast. Just how I like it. John Goodman's great. You got Susan Sarandon in there. You got Emile Hirsch. You have our Wednesday Addams OG, Christina Ricci. It took me a second to process the name. And you have this really anime brought to life look, which it's not going to be for everyone. I don't say, oh man, this movie's going to pull in all audiences. No, it's very tailored to a certain type of nerd fetisher, I guess, such as myself, because I appreciated it. So that was underrated. Overrated, that's, well, yeah, the Avatar movies, specifically the sequel. Avatar 2, I think, sits atop a 80 or 90% Rotten Tomato score. Avatar 2, Rotten Tomatoes, The Way of Water. Just the name is stupid. Oh, it's only at 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. I guess it's not as highly accredited as I thought. Nosferatu, I definitely would say, is up its own ass, and a lot of people seem to praise it blindly without giving me a lot of coherent reasons why. Nosferatu is definitely overrated, in my humblest of opinions. Tom Pranks, are you excited for the new Final Destination Bloodlines? I am, but I'm going to tell you guys something that makes me a sad panda. I have only seen 1.5 Final Destination movies. I saw the first one, which I really enjoy, and I think I saw the third or fourth, whichever one they're on a roller coaster. I watched half of it at my buddy's house in whatever grade I was in, and I had to go before we could finish it, and I never finished it. I didn't see 2, which I've been told by several people is the best Final Destination movie. And what is Bloodlines? The 5th? The 6th at this point? My daughter Olivia just watched it for the first time today. I think she's reviewing it, or she already put out a review. I'm not sure. It's coming soon on her channel, Being Real with Olivia. Real, R-E-E-L, for a film reel. She's doing it. She's doing her thing over there. I'm proud of her for keeping it going because she's going to be starting up school after the summer, and that's going to get hard. But yeah, she's doing things over there on that channel. So definitely subscribe if you want to hear from a 16-year-old girl who's more mature than her dad. I am excited for this though, and if I did not have this 31 on 31 to bone up for, I would go watch those Final Destination movies in a heartbeat. I might have to just do some sort of a YouTube 20-minute recap of what takes place in case I need to know something for Bloodlines. Maybe I'll try to get the second Final Destination in before I go because I do want to watch that second one. Ethan for $2 says, "Why you feel a clown when you saw clown in a corn?" Why you feel a clown when you saw clown in a corn? It's a good sentence. I know what you mean. I think he's referring to my comment when I did the review because I said I felt like a clown in the theater when watching a clown in a cornfield, and that's because I wasted my money and time going to this dumb movie in the theaters. That's why I felt like a clown. Hope I cleared that up for you, Ethan. Oh, apparently 1, 2, and 3 are goaded. All right. I'm hearing Leo says, "Adam, sir," comes to me with tears in his eyes. "The fifth movie is great, and this is the sixth movie." All right. I've heard the fifth movie's great also because it ties it all together. Is that right? Did I hear that correctly in passing at some point? I love Final Destination, short for Destination, 1 and 2. Haven't seen 3 and 5, but I hated 4. Sounds like 4 is the worst one. The racetrack Final Destination sucks. That might be the fourth one I'm hearing about. In my most recent Regal Theater experiences, I've actually cringed during trailers for the remakes of Disney's Lilo and Stitch and DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon, which I refuse to go see. My wife just did the rewatch of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. Whenever I was in the house and passing by, I would find myself sitting down and watching full sections of those films. They are so good. They are so good. And it does bring a tear to my eye that DreamWorks feels that they have to go the Disney live action route with their properties now because they're so special. We'll see. We'll see. Paul Bros for never for $4.99. Thank you, Paul Bros. Has there ever been a movie your wife or one of your kids picks you think will be awful, but you ended up loving it? Um, I believe there's been a couple. There's been a couple by Lindsay for sure that she's picked, mainly TV shows. Lindsay has picked out a few TV shows to watch, and I've been pleasantly surprised slash very impressed. Veep is definitely credited to her. She was badgering me for months, if not years, to watch Veep with Julia Louise Dreyfus and a bunch of other talented actors. And I didn't want to do it. I figured, Elaine hit her stride with Seinfeld. She had that other show. I forgot what it was called. It went like 5 seasons. Also, I didn't think it was very good. The New Adventures of Old Christine, I think it was. Didn't care for that. So I thought, no thanks. But man, I sat and watched that thing, and I think I've gone through Veep 5 times now. It's freaking hilarious. It's one of my favorite comedies. So I owe her my life for that. Connor's been watching a show that a lot of people have told me to watch. I still haven't, which is the Karate Kid TV series, Cobra Kai. He's on season 5. He said he's having a hard time getting through season 5. It's not very good, he said. But he is plowing. Maybe it's season 6. He said, yeah, I think it's 6. He said 4 was trash. 5 was good again. And then 6 is pretty bad, but he's trying to plow through the last 6 episodes to finish it off. But he said that show overall is really good. Now, I can't fully give him credit for it because I haven't watched it, but he seems to be in the majority with that thought. Olivia, I know she's definitely brought one or two to the table. What was it? Oh, frick, not. It was a corpse's bride. She really enjoyed the movie. She said we would like it. I did not want to watch it. We finally sat down, and yes, it was a very pleasant watch. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was good. It was a good time. So they all got one. Christian Movie Nerd for $5. Thank you. What are your thoughts on a Godzilla -1 sequel? Are you afraid it's going to suck? I don't think it really matters what I think personally, because Godzilla -1 was very favored by audiences. They seemed to love the film. I was obviously in the minority on that. One of only 3 or 4 critics that gave it a negative review on Rotten Tomatoes, pissing off an entire fandom of folks. It just didn't work for me pace wise. I thought it was lame. Not enough Godzilla for my liking, and I found the human characters to be bland. Yeah, it tackled a heavy topic, which is fine, but I don't think it handled it, or I don't think it tackled it in a way that befit the movie, if that makes any sense. The characters just were not appealing to me. All right, like miserably slogging through a film only to get to a very cartoonish final act was just a bit much for my standards. And again, I'm not like a Godzilla guy though. So people in that sphere of Godzilla world look for different things from a movie. They know the corniness and the cheesiness of all the past films. So to them, this was like freaking Citizen Kane levels of skill on the big screen. And for me, it was not, because I've seen a lot of dramas done far better than this. And it still did kind of have those cliches at the end of the day. Anyways, it did not go for broke, and it did not have any real cojones. And it still kept characters alive that should have been dead. It didn't take the chances that would have made it truly impressive. Now, obviously, the effects work is fantastic, especially for the low budget. Godzilla looks amazing. The destruction was cool. Was it enough for me? That's all. And I did try watching it again with my wife. She was bored out of her mind within 10 minutes, did not have any interest in the film. So it's definitely for certain types of individuals and not, I don't think, for the mass appeal. For Godzilla -1 sequel, I'm very happy it's happening. I think people will love it. Obviously, very talented people behind the first film. And I will go, and hopefully this one will hit me where the first one did not, which of course is in the swimsuit area. Ya boy for $4.99. Thank you. Yeah, boy. So I actually heard they might be doing a Pirate 6 with a new female pirate lead. Do you think the Pirates franchise can succeed without Johnny Depp? I've heard so many freaking mixed things about this movie. I heard it was going to be a Pirate 6 and Jay Depp was going to come back as a supporting character. I heard they're doing a Pirates Caribbean spin-off movie that's going to have who was it? Oh my god. Who's Barbie? Forgetting her name. Forgetting my Barbie. My Harley Quinn. Someone help me out. Throw me a freaking bone here. Someone throw me a freaking bone. What's her name? Margot Robbie. No one helped me. Oh, Rob K came in right at the end, but I got it right before he told me, so it doesn't count. Doesn't count, Rob. You were too late. Margot Robbie was supposed to be doing her own Pirates franchise. I just don't know what to believe until I see a trailer and not some AI bullshit by the actual Disney studio. I just can't say anything at this point. As far as, do I think the franchise can succeed without Johnny Depp? Skeleton pirates, magic, mysticism, crazy stuff. Yeah, I think it can succeed. I think if it's a good story with cool characters and an interesting setting, anything can succeed without said actor. It's just a question of they'll put the work in to make that happen. Now, do I think it has a better chance of succeeding with Johnny Depp? Absolutely. I'm not even sure the last Johnny Depp Pirates movie did that well. Pirates of the Caribbean 5 box office. I forgot what it was called. Dead Men Tell No Tales, the fifth installment. Oh my God, it did do well. $795 million. Yeah, it did well. Okay, this is a big franchise. Off of a budget of wow, this is a crazy budget spectrum. 230 million to 320 million. That's a big that's not just 5 million off. We're almost $100 million off. Okay. Well, either way, it still made money and it did very well. So yeah, we'll see. Well, there you go. Pirates with Sydney Sweeney. There you go. That'll do it. Movie Thoughts 101. Hey, so Adam, I looked at your letterbox and there's still no new movies added to it since Alien Romulus. Yeah, I know. I know. It's almost like, how do I put this delicately? I have bigger fucking things going on right now, like a full-time job, a YouTube channel I'm trying to put videos on every single day, live streams once a week, getting to new movies, watching new streaming movies, doing the 31 on 31, and oh yeah, moving across the country in less than a week and a half. Those things take a little bit more priority than going on fucking Letterboxd and wasting hours of my time to log movies I saw in the last year and a half or 2 years so that Movie Thoughts 101 can go, well, finally, Adam, thanks, jackass. But I'll do it as soon as I can. And just know I'm joking with you. I'm not seriously upset right now. Leo, Adam, have you ever watched The Horse Whisperer from 1998? Great movie, and it's sad that Hollywood doesn't make movies like that anymore. Also, a young ScarJo is great in it. I don't know if I've seen The Dog Whisperer, which was a TV show. I'm sure my wife has seen The Horse Whisperer. I don't think I have. Sean Williams, how did you decide to start this channel? Give us the origin story. The year was 1982. I was just birthed from my mom's vaginal canal. And I already knew I needed to be on YouTube. Like 2 decades before YouTube existed, I knew this. I decided to start the YouTube channel because there was a good amount of movie critics already in the space, but I did not see any in the route that I wanted to go, which was to be more of a Siskel and Ebert style show for a new generation of people, which meant I wanted it to be more fun, less confrontational in a mean way. Like those guys got vicious. They went head to head and they like seriously, it felt like wanted to kill each other at times. I wanted it to be light, loose, and I thought an interesting approach would be to pit 2 movies head to head, or pick one movie that I know me and my co-host, which I had at the time, Corey, would disagree with. And that's kind of what we did for a year and a half, 2 years off and on. And that's how it originated. I worked with Corey at work and we found ourselves going to lunch together often with some other guys, and he and I would get in these spirited debates about films and which movies were good, which were bad. And then I actually met with another friend of mine, Derek, and he said to me, you know, I think you'd be really good at reviewing movies on YouTube. And Derek is one of the smartest guys I know. And so if he's saying it, then I know that there's something there. And so then I started doing it with Corey, and yeah, it blossomed eventually after many years into Adam Does Movies. It started out as Movie Feuds because that was the focus, was debating films and going head to head on that. And then it became Adam Does Rant. No, I'm sorry. What did it become? Was it just Adam? The fuck was my second channel? Oh, Feud Nation. It turned into Feud Nation because then I stupidly did all these different shows. And only, I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I rebranded it to what is finally Adam Does Movies. And I focused solely on movie content again. And then I had the second channel, Adam Olinger, which was rebranded last year to Adam Does Rants. And that became a rants only channel. All the other content on that was blocked away, hidden under lock and key, and only exclusive for YouTube Join members and Patreons at the $1 tier and higher. That was a lot, but I think I got there, and hopefully it made a lick of sense. Yeah, I love talking movies and debating film, and this seemed to be, and I love trying to entertain and make people laugh. That was the number one goal for me, was do the show the way I wanted to do it with my voice, and hopefully I put some smiles on faces at the end of the day, and then I've done my job. Someone asked previously, I saw the comment, and then I got lost in my own ideas. He asked me, he noticed there's been very little support for Adam Does Rants. That's true. Again, I got a little too excited. I had a bunch of things I wanted to rant about, typically in the housing sphere. So I put out videos, and I was trying to do 2 a week, which then scaled back to 1 a week. And then I put more focus on this channel, and then that got lost altogether, which sucks because it was monetized and it was making, a few bucks a video, nothing great at all. The problem is there's just not enough time. And because of the full-time job, I have to focus on one channel only. So Adam Does Rants is in hiatus again. It's not dead. It's there. It lives and breathes. It's just not actively being worked on. There it is. And finding the time to watch both cuts of Ridley Scott's Legend. Everybody's been talking about Legend. Bing Bong for $4.99. Thanks, Bing Bong. What are some of your favorite sports movies? My favorite is King Richard. Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to go with the tried and true classic Rocky franchise, 1 through 4 specifically. Love all of those movies. Creed 1 and 2, I really enjoyed those as well. Favorites though, Rocky, I got to put the 4 on there. I really do. It's just, I grew up with them. I've watched them a stupid amount of times. They all kind of blend together at the end of the day, but I love them. Let's see, other sports movies. I'm trying to think football wise. Obviously, Remember the Titans is a fun little ditty for the family. Oh, I really enjoy Necessary Roughness. This is a random one, but that movie's fun as hell to me. It's got Sinbad. It's got Rob Schneider as a stupid announcer. He's really funny and perfect in that small role. You got the dude from Quantum Leap in there, Scott. Is it Scott Baio? No, it can't be Scott Baio. Who's the guy from Quantum Leap? Quantum Leap main actor. Oh, Scott Bakula. Yeah, Scott Baio he's from another show. Scott Bakula is the quarterback in, let me just bring up Necessary Roughness, IMDb. Yeah, Scott Bakula. You got Hector Elizondo. I can never say his last name. Elizondo as coach. Ed Gennaro. Robert Luggia, or Lugia. How do you say it? Luggia, I think. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up because I can't pronounce anybody's names. Jason Bateman is in this. I forgot Jason Bateman's in this. Yeah, there's just a fun, and then Kathy Ireland. Oh my God, the pinup it girl, Kathy Ireland, is the kicker. It's a very dumb, very fun film. Scott Loggia. Scott Loggia, thank you. The Sandlot, definitely. The Sandlot is definitely up there. Happy Gilmore is definitely up there. That's one of my favorite comedies. Any Given Sunday is great too. That is a good one. I do like Any Given Sunday. Yep, Dodgeball is fun. I really like Dodgeball. Talladega Nights, great. Balls of Fury, I wasn't like the biggest fan of. Oh yeah, Basketball. I haven't seen that movie in so long that I don't know how well it holds up. It's obviously the South Park guys, Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I think Jenny McCarthy is a hot maid in it, but they don't use her for any of the like hot stuff. She's truly like scrubbing toilets and stuff throughout the movie, which is a fun little side joke. Scott Baio is in Charles in Charge. There we go. Oh, Kingpin is great too. Wasn't it Yasmin Bleeth? Is that who's in Basketball? Maybe. Again, I saw it one time a long time ago. I mean, they list Jenny McCarthy in there as Yvette Denslow. Jenny McCarthy hyphen Wahlberg? Is she's married to a Wahlberg? I didn't know that. My God, I'm learning all sorts of new things. She's married to Donnie Wahlberg. Interesting. I had no idea. Huh. Huh. Who knew? Who fucking knew? Do you ever still think about the blue bag? I do. We drove by the old stomping grounds, which is like 3 blocks down the road, and I went back there to see if the blue bag was there, and it's not. Thankfully, it's gone forever. But in my mind, it's omnipresent. Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, I didn't like that one. It had a couple moments that were funny, like him freaking out at the coffee shop, but that one did not work for me overall. Now, I want to say one other thing in my defense, as folks are occasionally giving me a hard time about not remember the name of a person or how to pronounce them. Again, my buddy Matt came up last weekend and he brought with him some movie trivia. We tied. I think it was 30-30 or something. It was very fun. And he would bring up cards and they'd be things he knew I knew, but I'd have to sit for a second and actually rattle through the brain to find it. And he pointed this out, which I think is very astute. He was, of course, giving me credit and trying to help me, give me the benefit of the doubt. But he said, you know, I know a lot of the stuff from the 80s and 90s. That's like my bread and butter. I know every actor, I know the titles of movies, I know when a lot of movies came out. If you were to ask me modern movie questions about anything that came out in like 2015 and newer, I would have no idea. So for me, as someone that's watching 3, sometimes 5 movies a week, oftentimes this bullshit that comes to streaming services and then trying to retain all that knowledge of all these new actors and the directors that make all these new movies and still have the catalog of films going back to like the 70s. It's just like shit's bleeding out. I'm leaking oil now in my 40s, friends. Plus, you know, the database gets full. There's only so much you can retain. And yeah, I do find myself having a hard time trying to go back now 30 years for some of these and remember the names of actors who at one point in time were very prominent and easy to know right out of the gates. Now, yeah, I do have to kind of like calculate a little bit, like I'm processing for a bit longer than it would have taken me maybe a decade back. Just something to throw out there for you in case you're like, is this guy dying? Is he having a hard time? Is he malfunctioning? Kind of. I am malfunctioning. There's just too much. People are still listing off sports movies. It's just not ending. Christian movie nerd for $5. 80s or 90s, which was the best decade for movies? I think it's probably going to depend on your age and, like what you grew up watching in the theaters and really the nostalgia you have with it. I would say 90s pretty easily, but when I think of some of the most, but Jaws was 70s, wasn't it? Was Jaws late 70s? Jaws release date. Jaws was 75. All right, mid 70s. And Empire, or I'm sorry, Star Wars was 70 something as well. Was that 76? Star Wars A New Hope release date 77. So Star Wars was 77. So we haven't even hit the 80s yet. We have two of the most iconic movies that really set the standard for sci-fi and monster horror. Obviously you have The Matrix in the 90s. You have Fight Club. Was Fight Club 90s? Or is that early 2000? That had to have been 90s. Fight Club release date, like 99, I think. Yeah, 99. So you have Jurassic Park, you got Fight Club, you have The Matrix, which was freaking groundbreaking as hell at the time. Then you have like the Crouching Tiger side of things where they got more like mystical with the kung fu. I don't know. That's tough. You have X-Men and you have Spider-Man kicking off the superhero stuff. I think Spider-Man was post 99 though. Spider-Man 1 release date. I think that was 2002 or 2001. Yeah, that was 2002, so I can't use Spider-Man. I do have X-Men though. I do have Blade. Oh God, John Hughes though had a lot of good movies in the 80s, but he had Home Alone in the 90s. He had, I don't know, man. That's really hard. That's really tough. Because Caddyshack was 80s, right? Caddyshack release date. Yeah, Caddyshack was 1980. Oof, don't make me choose. That's like choosing over my children. I couldn't do it. Is that Olivia or Connor? I mean, I would pick Olivia over my children any day of the week. Can Connor hear me? Connor? I'd pick Olivia any day of the week. Sean Williams for 40 squiggly thing. I don't know what that number is. Is that pounds? Is that a super sticker? I can't see it on this end, but thank you, Sean. I assume that translates to $150 crisp American coinage. Thank you, Sean, for the biggest super chat of the night. Oh, Cine Fanatics sending a huge hello from Dan, Deacon, and me at Bullet Plane. LOL. Oh, God. Enjoy. I'd love to know, Andy, your thoughts on the film after it's completed. So maybe just send me a text message tonight where we could talk about it tomorrow. Christian says, I personally think 80s, but that's me. No, that's not just you. I said, I really don't know. It's too hard to say. There's just too many good movies from both time periods. Although, you had that amazing year with Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump. I mean, those three movies right there. Come on. You have the whole Quentin Tarantino resurgence in the 90s. Or I guess uprising would be the more appropriate term. Oh, yeah, look at Rob K. Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, The Usual Suspects, Train Spotting 7, Tombstone, Jurassic Park, all 90s. Yep. But The Godfather Part 3 is also in the 90s, which is going to knock it down a few pegs. Caleb, influential movies during your upbringing. I think it's a boring answer. It's pretty much what most middle-aged white dudes would say was an inspirational or an influential movie. Fight Club, The Matrix. If we go back to when I was young, it would be Jurassic Park. If we go back younger than that, it would be Jaws, Gremlins, The Goonies, Sandlot, Three Ninjas. I love the shit out of Three Ninjas. It's a stupid ass movie, but I loved it back in the day. Some of the ones that I watched that I shouldn't have when I was really young, RoboCop blew my mind. The Terminator movies, Terminator 1 and 2, T2 especially, was phenomenal. It's like fantastic and phenomenal combined. Phenomenal. Trying to think of anything else. I mean, I really liked Superman, the OG Superman. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the same boring meat and potatoes movies that I think most guys would bring up. Nothing. Yeah, I wasn't like watching a bunch of mobster shit when I was 5 years old. Although that would be pretty awesome. Hey, forget about. Okay. You think the new Predator movie will be good? I do, because I thought Prey was awesome. Same creative team's coming back, same director. You got Elle Fanning, who I think is just a wonderful actress. She's so good in The Great. I'm very pumped for this one. I think it looks very promising. Terminator 1's the 80s, but T2 is 90s. T2 is 90s, and that's better. Rob K, are we the same person? What's going on here? Overrated modern actors, in your opinion? Aquafina. I don't like Aquafina in movies. She's the same person every time. She's the modern Pauly Shore, in my opinion. I didn't care for him. Or Larry the Cable Guy. Let's go with real overrated modern actors, though. I would say, and I said this recently, Tom Hardy. I used to think Tom Hardy had what it took, but after so many dumb Venom movies and then Havoc and a few other roles I saw him in where he just kind of does this mumble speak, I don't get it. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to see it. So we got Aquafina and we got Tom Hardy. Anybody else coming to mind? Anybody else springing to mind? I know my buddy Tony does not like Pedro Pascal. I think he's delightful. I like Pedro Pascal. Do I think he's maybe overworked and overutilized? Yes. Some of the roles he's been picked to play in, not my choice, but I do like him as an actor. Silence of the Lambs, also 90s. Yep. Wasn't The Thing around the 90s? No, that's got to be older than the 90s. The Thing is like 80 something, like early 80s, I think. June 25th, 1982. Yeah, it's barely 80s. Okay, Rob, maybe I'll just scroll down the comments before I waste my time looking or guessing, because you seem to be doing it for me. Oh my gosh, Sean Williams for another 40 quid. I don't know what it is. Another 40 rupees from Sean Williams. Thank you, Sean. We are now up to 300 American dollars, I believe is the conversion rate. I don't know what it is. Oh, done with Pratt. Chris Pratt is getting thrown under the bus. I think Pratt is very talented. It's another case of just oversaturation. Did someone just ask if The Thing was 90s? Moores is about to scorch Earth. Well, pump the brakes. There was a version of The Thing that came out, what, early 2000s. The Thing. What would you call it? It's not a reboot, really. Sequel? How do you even find this movie? Oh, here we go. Oh God, that came out way later than I thought. Never mind. The Thing, whatever it is, came out in 2011. The Mary Elizabeth Winstead film. Wow, I was way off. I didn't see it. I still have not watched it. Oh, it's a prequel. Okay, The Thing obviously is a prequel to The Thing because Hollywood naming conventions are great. Would you agree that Terrifier is the darkest slasher franchise? I'm not an expert on slasher movies. I couldn't even say that with a straight face if it was the darkest. I'm sure there's some insanely dark slasher film about a grown infant that goes around and rips out the eyeballs of its victims and then pisses in their sockets and then feasts on their innards, maybe cocoons itself for the winter. It stays inside the husk of the human body that it tears apart. And then it goes on another eye gouging piss fest for the rest of its life. That seems like that would be the darkest slasher. But what do I know? I haven't seen it or the movie that I just fictitiously came up with. Well, I'm sorry. I've seen the Terrifier. Yeah, those are dark, gross movies. I just know that there's way worse out there, and thankfully, I probably haven't watched it. Scott Vance disrespecting Timothy Chalamet in the comments. I don't necessarily disagree. I did think he was a really good Willy Wonka. Movie's not amazing by any means, but it's a fine, fun watch. He was good though. Wasn't expecting much out of that. Anyone see Hartnett on a Plane? Should I see it? Watso, I assume you're asking the community for a backup opinion because you already watched my review, right? You've obviously watched my review and know my thoughts. You're just asking if other people have other thoughts, right? Right? You've seen my review, right? I loved Bullet Train as well, Watso. Adam, don't forget about your favorite movie, Teen Witch, cult classic. Oh my God, look at this. And there's my wife, Lindsay, in the. Oh, I can't zoom in on this. I can't zoom in and enhance, but there's the thumbnail with me and my wife. Thanks, Lindsay. Teen Witch sucks. Adam, did you ever watch Dark City? The Matrix ripped off Dark City. Dark City is better and no shitty sequels. Leo, come on, dude. I have seen Dark City. It's not better than The Matrix. We always have these Leo guys that try to go out on this limb and die on the branch on the hill that is Dark City's better than The Matrix. Dark City was good. Yes, it had a very similar idea. You could say Matrix ripped it off, but Apple ripped off a lot of features from other phones too, and they just did them better. And the Matrix is kind of the same. Matrix has a lot of ideas Dark City doesn't have, and it clearly went in a different direction with the action. I'm not discounting Dark City though. It is a good movie. It's a cult hit. But to say it's better, come on now. You're in the minority opinion on that one, and that's fine. Jeepers Creepers? Question mark. I like Jeepers Creepers. That movie's freaky. That movie, more than pretty much any other horror movie, got me the most in theaters watching it. The scene where they get ran off the road and they go down into that cave of like body parts is creepy and gross. And that ending is brutal, where you hear Justin Long's character screaming through the depths of this warehouse, and then you get the reveal of the eyes. Ooh, those peepers, not great. Adam, the videos you did 10 years ago, what was that about? They seem professionally done. What's the story? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about when 10 years ago? Jesus. When I had the blue background behind me and I was green screened in, or when I had like a TV next to me and some pillars and in the background and the whole 9 yards, the whole kit and caboodle. Is that what you mean? That was just what I did. I had a green screen. I pulled down the green screen, or back 10 years ago, it would have been just I bought like a giant fabric green screen, green curtain thing, and I had this ridiculous contraption that I hung it down from. This thing took up a stupid amount of room, and then I just stood 6 feet in front of it with my camera so that there was no shadow on it. I knocked the green screen out, and then I looked online and found a cool background, and I put that in because I know how to use Illustrator and Photoshop, so I put that in the background. And then I found another image of a cool looking TV, and I put that in the foreground next to me. And then I would have a third layer that would have the graphic that I was talking about that I would superimpose onto the TV. And I changed up the TVs every year pretty much. Sometimes it was a stupid curved TV that was really hard to put images in because then I had to warp the image and do a bunch of stuff. And long story short, I made a lot of work for myself while all the other channels just stood in front of their DVD collections and got way more views because at the end of the day, all of my hard work was kind of bullshit and no one cared. They just wanted to hear from the person about what they thought of the film. All the other stuff that I was wasting time tinkering with was unnecessary, busy work that I was putting on myself. I hope that this is what you're asking me about. And that's why one of the many reasons I don't use a green screen now. The Frozen versus Tangled movie feuds video has 3.2 million views. Whoa. Yes. Yes, it does. The only video my brother Jake has ever been in. And he reminds me anytime this YouTube channel is brought up. Oh yeah, the channel that I kind of, made with my appearance on the Frozen versus Tangled episode. How many other videos, Adam, have gone 3 million views on the channel? He loves to throw that in my face. Sean Williams, what's the name of the film where the characters make a simulation of the city? Vincent D'Onofrio was in it. Try not to give spoilers here. Oh, is that There's a movie called like The 13th Floor or The 13th Room. Is that the one you're talking about? I might have that name way wrong, but it's got like the grid wireframe look to it. I always forget the name of it. I watched that movie. It was weird as shit. That might not be even what it is, but that's the movie that I'm thinking of. What's up for $2? Should long movies have intermissions in theaters? I mean, it would be beneficial for the audience and the theaters. I think, yeah, they should. If it's like a 4-hour movie, why not? Give people a chance to go to the bathroom. They can get more snacks. The movie gets to double dip on purchases that way. I don't see any issue with it. A 5-minute intermission would be great. People can stretch their legs out. Christian says The 13th Floor. Did I say that? Did I guess that title? And then someone else is saying The Cell. I don't know what the right answer was. Was I right with The 13th Floor? Well, I guess I can look. The 13th Floor. IMDb. Oh my God, I was right. That's freaking hilarious. Wow. Do you remember the movie The Blob? Yeah, there's been a couple versions of The Blob. One of them is in black and white. Can't for the life of me tell you what year it came out. I want to say it way back in the day. The Blob original, can't spell, original release date 1958. The original Blob came out in 1958, and there was one in the 90s, I think. The Blob 19, maybe it was 80s. 1988. Yes. I have seen both of them, but it's been a long time, and I remember thinking they're both pretty cool. Both actually pretty good versions too, similar to Invasions of the Body Snatchers. Yes, Eric is absolutely right. I love Invasions of the Body Snatchers. My favorite is still the. See, I have to go back into the memory hole, scanning for names, scanning for names. The dude from a million movies, Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, is in the my favorite version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Creepy ass ending to that movie. I have not seen The Blob 2. I don't even remember. I didn't even know if that was the thing. Are you a fan of Sharknado? Not really, Josh. I never got on the Sharknado craze. I know they made like 4 of them. Yeah, they didn't do it for me. I didn't get it. All right, we have gone over an hour. I'll go another 5 minutes. Super chats encouraged at this point. If you want to keep me here longer, I'll extend my stay. But let's go 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut it down. Lots to do. Lots to do. What director does Adam like as a director but hates his writing in movies? Hint: first name initial starts with M and last name initial starts with R. Does he know something I don't? I'm curious to know what this answer is. First name initial starts with M, last name initial starts with R. Is there a movie that was so bad you walked out of the theaters? Josh, not that long ago, I walked out of A Working Man, the Jason Statham movie, and it wasn't because it was just so bad. I was just so sick of this whole shtick. The whole tough guy can take on everyone, and he like never gets hurt. It's just so boring. And Working Man was longer than it needed to be, and I just found the whole shtick to be lame. I did go back and finish it the next night because I showed up early to my other movie I was going to. So I just snuck back into that theater and caught the last 15 minutes that I missed. And I missed nothing. A movie that I truly walked out on, there's a couple. House of the Dead by Uwe Boll, or however the hell you say his name. All of his movies are absolute ass. House of the Dead I walked out on. And Biker Boys with a Z I walked out on. Truly trash films. Christian for $5. Thank you. Do you think it's important to keep the physical media industry alive? This might be the hardest question I've ever been asked because I don't know. I don't know. Is that okay to just say I don't know? I think it's important, I suppose, if you're a collector or if you want to own your media, because as it's been stated a million times over, you really don't own anything you buy online in a digital good, because there is a license associated with it and they can get pulled. Like, you can lose access to movies that you bought on Amazon Prime. As insane as that sounds, it is true. It is the case. Even, when you subscribe to something like Spotify, that music is not always going to be there. There's different contracts with different artists, and sometimes albums are fully pulled. Sometimes entire artist catalogs are fully pulled. So yeah, it is nice to have the physical media. That said, that physical media doesn't last forever either. There's wear and tear. There's deprecation. I have some systems behind me, like a Sega Saturn, that really does not operate anymore because the memory in the system brilliantly goes out after so much battery life. The Sega Saturn uses a tiny little battery, and once that battery is depleted, the memory from the system is wiped. I don't know if there's a way to get around that. Maybe you change the battery while the system is off. I'm not sure if that resets everything just by doing that, but you lose all of your save data. And so, in that sense, even physical media has limitations and problems. The best case scenario, I guess, would be to back up your purchases. If you have a digital good, put it on a hard drive, put it on a server somewhere in the cloud so you always have access to it. I would even say if you own something on Blu-ray or DVD, typically it comes with a digital version. Sometimes it's locked behind a license there too, though, and it has to ping like an authentication program. Like, it's just a shit show all around. I don't have an answer, I guess, is my bottom line. Just, I suppose if something is valuable to you, yeah, you are going to want a physical version of that, or you're going to want a way to back up a digital good on something physical that you also own. So there you go. There was the longest answer possible without really giving you much of an answer at all. Yes. It's also tough because I don't really collect movies. Like, I have stupid stuff around me, but I don't go out and buy Blu-rays. And it's mainly because I've given Hollywood and the industry so much money over the years already because I did buy physical stuff for way too much money. One thing that digital goods have allowed us is to purchase full series of shows for not even a third of the cost that you would buy on a VHS or a DVD. For instance, I have the entirety of X-Files on DVD. Each one of those collections a season was like $50 or $60. There are 9 seasons of the X-Files. What is that, $540 that I spent? That's insanity. $540 over the course of however many years it took them to shit those out. I think they put them out every few months. Wait, 9, 18, 27, 30, 45, 54. Yeah, $540. I did that, right? It's wild. And so now you could probably buy that entire X-Files collection. Let's see what I can buy that for now. Entire X-Files collection. Jesus Christ. You can now buy the entire collection for $200. Oh, I'm seeing it here for $152. And this includes even some of the newer seasons past the 9. And these are physical, so the digital is even cheaper. Yeah, anyway. Emmett for $2, thank you. Have you seen the 1998 movie Dark City? Yes, I already talked. Are you trolling me? I just talked about it. Scott Vance for $2, nothing, just silence, darkness. Maybe it's a super sticker, I don't know, but thank you. Okay, I think now's a good time. I will give a few more minutes if anybody has any final super chat questions. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, just joined. No, it's not your bad, Emmett. I'm sorry. I can never tell if people are just joking around or whatnot. Yes, I've seen Dark City a billion years ago. I thought it was a very cool, slick little flick. I really appreciated the style it went for. I don't think it's as good as The Matrix. That seems to be where the conversation always heads. I think it's good. I appreciate that The Matrix obviously took a lot of inspiration and ideas from Dark City. Not as good. Alrighty, that's going to do it for me. Tomorrow, I have a video going up letting you know my thoughts on the new Godzilla X Kong Supernova. We got a new reveal for another Godzilla X Kong movie. I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow on the channel. Then I will be having my review for Final Destination Bloodlines coming out Friday on the channel. There's going to be stuff. There's going to be content pretty much every day up until I move. And hopefully I can batch some videos for you while I'm on the road for a couple days. I even hope to, if I'm on the road on a Tuesday, get a live stream like this in a hotel room. I'm honestly not sure when I'm leaving or how this is going to work out logistically speaking, but I will try to keep the content moving and keep the channel growing. I should say before we go, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like on the stream, and maybe if you could even put a comment down in the comments of the stream video, that I think that helps with the algorithm. And lastly, please just share the channel with a friend or a family member. Just be like, hey, you like talking movies, I like talking movies, so does this guy. Word of mouth is one of the greatest ways to expand the show. I'm on Spotify, I'm on Apple Podcasts, I'm here on YouTube. These are, and I'm also on Rumble and Twitch, but these are the primary three that I'm focusing on. And I thank you though, if you're watching anywhere, patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Someone said, hey, Adam, would you do this full time? Sure. If the 1,001 people that subscribed to my channel in the last decade supported me over there at even $1, we could probably make that dream a reality. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a good